welcome to the Modern Skein podcast. Another new backdrop for you. This one seems a little darker, so I'm not sure if we're going to keep it up. There's Suri. You're on camera. I don't think the microphone picked up. She has the most quiet, she sounds like she chain smoked cigarettes for 100 years. Like, that's the weirdest way of describing it, but that's what it sounds like, her meows. Just so strange. Anyway, hi, welcome to the podcast. I hope you enjoy this new view. This is part of our feature wall, and this is the continuation in the back room of our yarn wall. And we have a light out again, so that's probably why it's looking dark. So anyway, welcome to the podcast. This is another view of the new redo of the shop. I don't really like this backdrop, but I'm going to stick with it because I don't really want to move everything. It's okay. So thank you for tuning in to the podcast. Again, my name is Sharon Graff, and I am the owner of the Modern Skein, which is a yarn shop here in Montgomery, Texas. And I just realized we'll see. I may get interrupted. Wow, this is off to a great start. Hi. Let's start over, shall we? Welcome to the podcast. If you're a new viewer, I'm normally not this scatterbrained. Who am I kidding? I sometimes am. But welcome. And if you're a returning viewer, welcome back. Grab your beverage of choice. Put this mug around. I have coffee this morning because it is early morning and I need my coffee. But no matter when you're watching, go ahead and take this time to grab your beverage, grab your knitting, grab your crocheting, your spinning, your weaving, whatever your crafting is, whatever your art is. It's not just crafts, it's art, you know. Somebody I was following was talking about art versus craft, and it's an art. All crafts are a form of art. And don't let anybody tell you different. That's my opinion, and I'm sticking to it. So, let's get started with finished objects. And I was about to say I actually don't have a finished object this week, and then I realized I never showed off my finished Moonbumps test knit. I realized that when I was getting ready to film. So let me go grab that off the mannequin and show you guys the Moonbumps, because it is finished. It was finished like 3 weeks ago, but I never showed it on here. So, this is the Moonbumps shawl from Max the Knitter. Gosh, they are so noisy today. And I love it. So this is a beautiful shawl made out of Moondrake Fuwa, which we have a little bit left up here, and Moondrake Soft Sport. For the contrast, you can use a skein of Spin Cycle from your stash. If you have about, I would say about 30 grams of a sport weight yarn. So it doesn't have to be a full-size skein. It could be stash. You could use stash for every stripe if you had it. That would be super fun. Lots of possibilities. So again, Moondrake Fuwa in the colorway Toffee. This is a long, skinny shawl, so it's almost a scarf. It's a little wider than a scarf, so it's like a shawl-scarf combo. But it's really easy to wear because, you know, just double loop it, zhuzh it up, you're good to go. It's definitely nice and cozy. I love the fabric of the Fuwa held double, really do. You can easily, if you're not wanting to use Fuwa, it's not in your budget, whatnot, easily hold Castle Suri from Red Stag Fiber, held double. would be a good alternative. You could also potentially just use a DK weight yarn that isn't fluffy, or even a sport weight yarn that's not fluffy. I would think Andorra would actually be a good idea to use as a main color for this shawl as a substitute. It would be lighter and it wouldn't be as dense as potentially a DK would at the gauge listed. But it would be a nice option if you are not into fluffy, fuzzy yarns at all, but you're still wanting to make it. I would give that a try, or a light DK potentially. You could even do Les Garçons DK, the British DK potentially, or Kilburn Woolen Scout as well as options for your main color. And yeah, you don't have to do a fluffy yarn. It's amazing and it's so soft and it's so fluffy. But if you are opposed to the floof, then definitely give the pattern a shot if you enjoy it or like the looks of it. So that is my one and only finished object. There's Suri again. She went and had some more breakfast. I would like some more breakfast, but alas, I do not have more breakfast with me. I'm going to show you, this is a weird podcast. I don't know. Blame it on the new moon. I don't know. I'm going to show you my whips. I will say I have not had a lot of knitting time this week in the shop. It's been crazy busy. We've either had like multiple giant 50, 60, one package was even 80 pounds worth of yarn. We've had a lot of yarn come in. Or I've had to build furniture for the shop. I promise, now that the last of the furniture is built, I will film right after this a podcast, a shop tour, and it will be posted on YouTube, either potentially before this podcast is uploaded or after, but within the next week for sure. But now that we've got all the furniture built and I think all the arrangements that are going to work, at least for the next little while, I'll go ahead and film the shop tour since it's nice and full. So yeah, I haven't had much knitting time. We've either had all that stuff happening at the shop, so I haven't had time really, except for yesterday, like 30 minutes to sit and knit. Or we've had family in town. We've had a lot of family come through actually lately. It's just crazy. And I realized I printed a sign out and I left off half the sign. Anyway, I haven't had much knitting time. Hopefully this next week affords me a little bit more knitting time. And I have some more knitting time over the weekend. We're super busy over the weekend, and I don't even remember why or what we were doing, but I didn't knit much. Normally I knit a lot on the weekends, like Saturday. I knit some on Saturday, but usually like Sunday, and at least Monday afternoons, I get some knitting done. Sorry, there's like a lot of people all of a sudden outside. It's distracting. It's normally quiet in Montgomery, especially in the morning, but everyone's out and about. But I'll go ahead and show you the progress that I have made on a few knits. Ta-da! This is my DRK Everyday Cowl. Josh is texting me. Okay, didn't stop the podcast. This is my DRK Everyday Cowl in progress. This is technically where it would be. We're getting close. I think I still have a few more increases to do. I am doing the small adult, which is really looking massive. But I have the gauge. So, interesting. Loving it so far. The stitch pattern's really nice. It's mindless, but not boring, if that makes sense. So I am using, I hope you're not hearing all these horn honkings on here. It's distracting me. I hope it's not distracting you. I am using Mota by Wool Dreamers, which is a new yarn that we've gotten in over the past couple weeks. It is a Manchanga and Merino sheep. Manchanga is a breed of sheep from Spain. You may be more familiar with it from Manchego cheese. But yes, that is the same sheep that give you the milk for the Manchego cheese. They're called Manchanga, and they produce a beautiful, soft, non-superwash wool. So the Mota is a DK to light worsted in its put up. It's done in balls. 100-gram balls are $250, I think, 230 or 250 yards. So it's right about that DK to worsted weight. I think you could pretty much get away with either DK or worsted weight gauge, anywhere from like a 20 to even maybe a 16 stitch gauge. This yarn blooms beautifully, and it's got a nice stitch definition to it, but it still has a little bit of drape. So I'm really intrigued to see some beautiful, I think it would be gorgeous for cabled sweaters or even like lacy sweaters. I think it would be really nice. I am using two different colors. I know the taupe is 800. I do not remember this lime green's number, and I don't have the ball band. I think I put it in the trash. But you can, it's the limey green that's on the website. I'm doing the 2-color version of her cowl, the DRK Everyday Cowl, but you can do it either in a fade, you can do it in solid color, you can do stripes. Really, the options are endless. I'm going to post some kits on our Instagram with some unique worsted weight in, the color fade changes with a solid. I think that would look really, really fun, because then you get like a gradient effect as well. So lots of options. Great stash buster, because really for the adult sizes you just need 1 skein each of a DK to worsted. So it can be a nice stash buster for those times you picked up just a single skein, or maybe you have a full-size skein left over from a sweater project that you didn't know what to do with, or an almost full-size skein you just broke into and used 10 grams of or something. Nice to use those up. Okay, something I did get a little bit knit on this week is my Cumulus tank. So I have joined in the round, ta-da, and I'm just knitting away. I got about that much done on it. This is the underarm right here. And yeah, it's just slower going because it's a small needle. It's a 2.5, a 3 millimeter needle. So, but I love this yarn, you guys. This is the Tynn, which we just restocked. Check out our IG for all of the colors because they are so beautiful. The Tynn is the fingering weight version of Linny. So I should be calling it Tynn Linny. I don't know why I call Linny, but I call Tynn Tynn. I don't know. But it is a linen cotton viscose blend, perfect for summer. And at the fingering weight, it's so light, so drapey. It's a great substitute for Shibui reed, Shibui cone, even Shibui twig. It's a great substitute for any of those. If you're finding patterns that call for those yarns, it's a great alternative. And like I said, we just restocked a bunch of fun summer colors, so take a look at that. We also have regular Lin in it, or Linny as well, which is a DK worsted weight version of the same yarn. The pattern is the Cumulus Tank by Petite Knit. That's about all I have to say. I mean, I'm not finishing it in time for our knit along, but because the knit along wrapped up March. I say wrapped up March 31st because I'm pretty sure this won't be on YouTube until April 1st, but just in case. Then the other thing I did make some progress on since the last episode, dropping stitches, is my Halu by Boyland Knitworks. I am knitting, I'm joined in the round, split for sleeves. Joined in the round, it's been in the round since the collar. I've split for sleeves on this. It's so good, you guys. Knit a decent little chunk on it. I added in, I'm on my second ball of Suri, and I'm getting ready to add, I have like this much left of my fingering. I'm using the Moody Moon colorway from Redstock Fiber. It is our latest custom color. Oh, it's so soft, you guys. The Castle Suri from Redstock is so soft. I have separated for sleeves. Like I said, I put them on needles because I'm not allowed to have Scooby-Doo's or the knitting cords in my house because my cat loses his mind over them and will not stop screaming. And I do mean screaming because my cat will scream like a 3-year-old for them. So, we can't have those in my house. If you're wanting to see what it looks like without the Suri, this is the Moody Moon colorway. It is the darker version of Sharon's palette. So Sharon's palette has a lot more white kind of background and less of the taupe. And it's a lighter taupe when you do get that on Sharon's palette. This is definitely more saturated version of Sharon's palette. And then of course, hopefully we get restocked soon of Midnight Sky, which is the darkest version with a lot of blacks in there, which is so fun. So then we'll have a 3 skein fade, and I'll have to cast something on because we need all 3 together in a project. There's so many things I want to cast on right now. Yeah, I don't have anything else I'm working. Well, these 3 projects are what I'm actively working on. I have other projects to cast on, obviously, and I want to cast on more, but I really want to finish this tank and the cowl before I cast on anything else. And some of the things I want to cast on, I really want to save to jointly cast on with everyone for a plant-based knit along, which is happening in May. So I don't want to get the jump on you guys, but I really want to cast on some things. So real quick about the knit along. So we do every year since we've been open, we've done a plant-based knit along during the summer. So basically from May through usually Labor Day, we do 1st of May through like Labor Day. We have a plant-based knit along where you can knit or crochet anything. It does not matter. As long as it is primarily plant-based yarn. So we would say at least 40% of your yarn is composed of cotton, linen, bamboo, viscose from bamboo, things like that. So Lenny, Tynn Lin, Duo even works, which is a blend of wool and cotton. Dapple works. It's a blend of cotton and wool as well. Earth Cotton, Circulo, Clea Ann, Duna, things like that. Plant-based yarns. So you can cast on anything, like I said, knit, pattern, crochet pattern. I'm sending out an email soon with pattern ideas for both knitting and crochet. Technically, you could throw something on a loom and weave, maybe some towels, things like that. With some Anne or Clea would be really, really nice. I just saw a beautiful scarf woven with Clea from Circulo, and it was stunning. So lightweight, and just the drape and the sheen. It looked like it was partly silk, but it was just cotton. It was gorgeous. So yeah, that's the knit along or crochet along, make along. Because knit or crochet, I have a couple crochet patterns I'm really, really wanting to cast or start cast on. Whatever, tomato. I use cast on irregardless of whether it's knit or crochet. I know technically people are like, well, you only cast on when it's knit. Well, what do you call starting your crochet project? Casting it on. It's just with a hook. Anywho, there's so many things I want to make. So anyone's welcome to join. We have a hashtag. I think it's TMS plant MAL. I have to look it up. But we have a hashtag, and you can starting March 1st. And then all of the finished items that are done, usually we have some of our plant-based suppliers donate some fun prizes to give away that we pull from the finished objects. So it's a lot of fun. It gets us knitting through the summer months here and abroad. So, because some people take the summer off from knitting and crocheting, which is mind-boggling, because you can knit and crochet all year round for sure. So that's that. Look for more for email coming soon. Also, if you are local or if you are traveling through the area, we are doing our once a month themed knit nights, which are super duper fun. Our next one is April 6th, and it is a spring fling themed. So we're going to have some fun spring snacks and beverages. Definitely come on by, wear some floral, fun spring outfits. Hopefully it's not rainy or icky. But that is April 6th from 4 to 8 p.m. It just so happens that May's date, FYI, if you are coming around, it is May the 4th. So yes, we will be having a Star Wars theme. We are also going to kind of combine that with a little bit of Cinco de Mayo and have a Star Wars cantina theme, because, you know, the cantina in Star Wars is iconic. So that is May 4th, and again, 4 to 8 p.m. So it's always the first Thursday of the month. If you're around or traveling, it's always fun themed, and it's a lot of fun. Come sit and stitch with us. The other thing I wanted to share real quick, of course, like I said, we've gotten in tons of yarn, but I wanted to show, since it's been a while, the Castle Suri that we just got in. We got in a huge array of colors, and I want to show you guys. So this is antique linen. Nice, creamy, white. It's not yellow creamy when I say that. It's like a gray white. It's really like linen. Very, very nice. I just love it. It's so soft. So soft. So, antique linen. Birch. Compare these. So birch is just a little bit more on the brown side. I love birch. Birch goes with everything. I have fuzz on my tongue. Aberdeenshire, a little bit more brown compared to birch. Really, really nice. Dunedin, which is the darkest. I should have gone in order. Edinburgh Castle, which is a little bit lighter. So if you wanted to do a fun Suri fade, this would be Melted Mirage, a neutral Melted Mirage from Stephen West. Do this as your Suri fades, and then put like a neon on front. Oh yeah. So that was Edinburgh Castle and Dunedin. Another brown tone we have is a classic. It's more of a red brown. We do have that. Of course, we have antique leather. Love antique leather. Let's see. We have some gray fades. Okay. So we have, technically, you could start with antique linen, then go into Castle Rock, Cobblestone, just a little bit darker, Stonegate, and Welsh Slate. So this is another fun fade of Suri's. So soft and fluffy. This is forged steel. It's a blue toned gray. So if you compare it to cobblestone, you can see the blue tones coming out of it. But forged steel is a really great one. We haven't had that one on Suri before. This is French waistcoat. This is the new heather. I'll compare this real quick. This is royal mantle, and then Scottish thistle would be even lighter, but we don't have Scottish thistle at the moment. Moray Firth. This is another new one. Nice, beautiful teal. Per pod on Suri. Always looks gorgeous. Jewel of the King. Rich, rich green. Of course, one of my favorites, Her Majesty's Navy. Super rich, rich dark blue. We have Royal Ballet, the new pink. It has such tonal pops. It's gorgeous. I'm not even a pink fan, and I like it. This is Gilded, nice golden yellow. Passport, of course, classic burgundy wine. We have Isle of Harris for a nice teal. Let me reach over here. We have Key, nice blue. This is Mar, a little bit lighter version of Her Majesty's Navy. This is Cairngorms, a nice mottled light medium green. Pine, nice yellow, but very pale, creamy yellow. Barley Field, this is one of my new favorites. You can just see a little more of the like peachy undertone to it. Be beautiful for a satellite shawl. Red Stag, nice orange tone, actually goes with my shirt really well. Hollyberry, nice cherry red. And then lastly, Brick Tavern. So a little bit darker, richer, and brick undertone. So those are, I think, all the colors that we have just gotten in. They're all on the website. Of course, you can shop now. Pattern ideas, of course, Halu would be great. Melted Mirage from Stephen West. If you're looking for something real simple, do a birthday cake cowl. We have a sample here done in Suri, and just a single strand of Suri, and it's so light and airy. Of course, you can substitute melted baby Suri for a strand of lace weight mohair in most patterns. What else would be good? Oh, it would be great for a satellite shawl by Andrea Mowry. Just pick 3 colors. That would be beautiful. You could also substitute it for Sereno Symphony by Stephen West would be really fun. Or what's the other one? I think. Oh. Birds of a Feather, classic one for sure. But pretty much any pattern that calls for either melted baby Suri or Odang, what else? Lace weight mohair, things like that. You can substitute the Castle Suri for, because it is a lace weight, but it also has a little more oomph to it as well. You could easily substitute it, like I said, for the Fuwa held double. You could use it for the Alpenglow sweater in place of the plume. So lots of different options. I think that's all I have. Oh, we did get in 52 weeks of Easy Knits again. By the time this is out, we should have our 52 weeks of socks volume 2. So if you pre-ordered, those should be shipping out probably already by the time this comes up, or close to it. Then we got a restock of Neons and Neutrals by Amy Gilles. So if you missed out on our first order, we do have that in stock, ready to go. And we do have pre-orders for Mooch and Friends, which is the little knitted toys from Alina that's coming out. They are knitted toys, not crocheted amigurumis. So if you are looking for the knitted toy patterns, that's one for you to take a look at. That's all I got. So thanks so much for tuning in. And if you haven't already subscribed, I would appreciate if you subscribed and give us a thumbs up. We are getting very, very close to 2,000 subscribers, which would be a really awesome thing. Love growing the podcast channel, and hope you will share it with some friends that you enjoy the podcast. And like I said, look for the shop tour. If it's not already up on YouTube, look for it in the next few days. So definitely subscribe to get notifications so you don't miss it when our videos get uploaded. Have a great day, guys, and we'll see you in the next week or two. Have fun. Happy crafting.